Googled and looked him up, and I played it. He sang, 2 notes? Skyla's jaw dropped, my jaw dropped, and we were like, holy shit. But I am such a snob when it comes to the Phantom. Fuck the movies, all the way in the neck. With a greasy-ass fucking chicken bone. Fuck them. Okay?
I love the Gerard Butler movie.
I did too.
No.
Because that's when I was like, oh my god, this dude can sing.
He likes the original because, first of all, he loves the Phantom and he loved Raoul.
And I can never remember his name.
That
played the Phantom in the original cast.
But he also really loves, he doesn't like Emmy Rossum for Christine. He loves Sarah, what's her name?
Brightman.
Sarah Brightman. Which if you've ever seen Repo Genetic Opera, which is a very good, like, it's highly underrated. Like, people just don't even understand how great
Skyla's a big B movie.
I love B movies.
She watched the Harry Potter musical.
Norm Lewis played.
Yes.
Is that that's the black dude I was talking about? Yes. That dude's voice is, I mean, just, and he played.
We're about to listen to it right now.
What one are you playing? From Phantom?
Holy shit.
Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender, turn your face away from the
That's amazing.
That man is, and apparently he had a very, very long run on Broadway. Well, I think he's probably still on Broadway. But
that was actually 5 years ago.
Les Mis, we used to, when I was in choir in high school, we would sit around and just randomly sing Broadway show tunes. And Les Mis would always come up because everybody wants to sing I Dreamed a Dream. Mm-hmm. I know even Mama Jean, she hates when certain songs come on and I sing the female part. And there are times where I can hit the higher parts better than she can. But everybody wants to sing I Dreamed a Dream, so we do it. Well, then they came out with the Les Mis movie with
Hugh Jackman.
Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman. Which I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, but it wasn't necessarily because of the actors. I just didn't necessarily like the way the movie was put together.
There was a lot of up and downs with it, and then
I hated Russell Crowe singing.
And I love Russell Crowe, like Cinderella Man.
I just liked his story. Like I liked how they portrayed the story. I'm like, okay, that's the play.
Javert. I mean, it's a very iconic role, and I mean Hugh Jackman.
Where I was really the Wolverine can sing.
Where I really fell in love with Hugh Jackman was The Greatest Showman.
Yes,
Hugh Jackman. I won't say about you what I said about Ryan Reynolds because you are a classy mate. But
very
please, Hugh Jackman, if you hear this, I will sing The Other Side with you. I will do it anytime. You know what? To be fair, I would do it right here, right now. I put the offer out. Anytime. Yeah. I will sing The Other Side with you. And actually, Zac Efron. I did not grow up with High School Musical. I didn't understand that shit. But Zac Efron, Skyla did. She's pointing at herself right now.
Did.
But Zac Efron was absolutely amazing. And we talked about it on the way here because we were listening to The Greatest Showman in the car.
What's a fun fact? Zac Efron actually didn't sing in the first High School Musical movie. It was Drew Seeley.
I did hear about that.
He didn't learn to sing properly until the second and third movies.
He's got a really good voice, and I think he was perfect for that role. And I really do think The Other Side, the duet that Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman did was just, I mean...
They had Rewrite the Stars.
Rewrite the Stars.
And you know, fun. So I think I mentioned to you before, when I really like an actor or a role or whoever... I dive into it. I Google them. I read about them. I find out who they are. So during The Greatest Showman, which the guys that wrote the music for The Greatest Showman and the songs are the same ones that did that movie I didn't like with Emma Stone, who is finer than frog hair.
Who?
La La Land.
La La Land. I wasn't a big fan of that. Everybody thought it was great. Won a bunch of awards. I just didn't care for it.
It wasn't exactly.
But the guys that did that are the same guys that did Greatest Showman, which shocked me. But Hugh Jackman... During that, he had was it a tumor or something?
He had a tumor.
Like in his nose, he had to have surgery. And during, what's the big song he sings at the end? From now on. That one.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody else was singing that or something in rehearsal, and the emotion got to Hugh Jackman, and he stood up and started singing and put so much into it. His nose started bleeding.
Yes.
Like he wasn't supposed to be singing, but he just could not stand back. And I could not.
Because it's such a powerful song.
You got me on my nerd roll here.
Yeah.
I'm geeking out. How do you say it? Keila Settle. Keila Settle that plays Letty in the movie. Her fucking voice
is great.
For somebody I'd never heard of before that movie, and where you first, well, not when you first notice it, but the biggest part is when they're singing, I think it's called The Greatest Show, is the name of the song, right? When she belts out that, this is the greatest show, you're like, holy shit. Like, that's an octave that you don't hit.
No.
You don't get there.
And they had to really, like, coax her to be like, you can hit these notes. Stop holding back. Yeah. Just let it go.
There was, like,
that's a different movie.
back screen stuff where, like, Hugh Jackman's like, you got this. Like, you've got this.
And you know what? He's not just a good actor.
He's
and
a good person.
He's a really good person, isn't it? Is it him and Ryan Reynolds?
Yes, they have that like jokes and stuff like that.
Well,
Which one of them has the coffee company?
That's both of them. That's both.
They have it together.
They have it together.
But they were doing those videos for a while.
I think Ryan Reynolds has like an alcohol or something.
The Aviation Gin, which is a great gin. I have tried it.
I'm not traditionally I don't drink a lot of gin. But I do love a drink that, I will say her name, Haley Boland. She used to be a bartender at the bowling alley of all places, for her name Boland. She made a drink for somebody else one time. And I drank a fair amount. And she said, hey, I made this for somebody else. Do you want it? It's free. Well, that's my favorite fucking price. Free $99, baby. Fucking slide it over here. And it was half sweet tea, half lemonade, and gin. Oh my god!
Gin's
that shit was. Like,
and I wish I still had a bottle of that, but I drank that bitch dry.
I did used to drink Tanqueray. I did like Tanqueray. Beef eaters, all right. You know, I'm not a big martini person, but
another actor who just came out with an alcohol was Dwayne Johnson's tequila. I would love to try. I've heard great reviews about it.
I'm glad you mentioned him. I will say, hands down, when I was a kid, I liked wrestling.
Right.
The WWF.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake. You know, I'm talking the old. I even had the little. It was a ring, a wrestling ring, all the strings were bungee cords.
Stone Cold was my favorite.
Either like Stone Cold.
No, I'm going even back before that.
Well, no, they were in the same.
They were in the same.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was toward the end. I'm talking going back before he ever came out. When you had what were they? The Bash Brothers, Smash Brothers, that come out with their arms pumping. But I just lost interest in wrestling as I got older. But Dwayne Johnson, I think he's a much better actor than what he gets credit for.
He really is.
I really do. And he actually surprised me in Moana when he did actually sing.
Sings to his daughter every day.
Yeah, he has to sing to his daughter every day.
And the what's the one with Jumanji? Because
he's coming out with another one called Jungle Cruise.
Yeah,
with Emily Blunt, which she's also a fine. Good job, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Good job.
But when they remade Jumanji, I was very, very iffy on that. I didn't watch it for a while because I was a huge Robin Williams fan.
I was still kind of hurt from Robin Williams.
Not just am I a huge Robin Williams fan, but I always very, very closely identified with Robin Williams. Because he was hilarious. He did so many impressions, and that's I know people listen to us talk on the podcast. Y'all have seen me off the podcast, and you see the way I am, the shit I do, the spontaneous shit I do. And it's not saying Robin Williams was an inspiration, but I was like, man, that's I feel like that's me.
With you, it's more the looks that get me, like the looks you get whenever you're pissed off, but you're trying to show you're not pissed off.
Yeah, that's different too. Because most time you see those, it's at work.
Yeah,
I'm the boss at work. So
he's animated. He's very animated when he talks.
Like
I can say a lot without saying a fucking word.
Me and this other guy that we know.
Which one?
I don't know if I can say his name.
Oh, my old boss?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. No, you can say his name.
Oh, well, French.
John bitch-ass motherfucking French. One of the best captains I've ever fucking worked for. I miss working with that man.
I do too.
He was a hell of a guy to work for.
Black and mild smoking motherfucker.
He did. And oh my God, can his wife cook?
Fuck yes.
Oh my God. D-Lo, if you hear this, baby, I know I don't work with old Johnny Boy anymore, but please feed me. Feed me.
Feed the hunger.
Skylar won't feed me. I need you to send me food.
You tell everybody that at work, and then I go to your Christmas party, and they're like, "Do you not feed him?"
Yeah, we went to the work Christmas party, and I'm introducing Mama Jean to people, and I introduced this woman. I call the woman Mama, but because I call a lot of women Mama. And I introduce him. This woman looks dead askance and goes, "Baby, do you feed him at home? He's always asking me for food." Well, I'm not going to turn down food.
The best way I can describe French to everyone on the podcast that don't know, he is the Samuel L. Jackson of where we work.
He is.
That dude.
Very much. But,
and I told him that once. He goes, "Is that just because I'm black?" I said, "No, because in 5 minutes you're going to say motherfucker just like he does."
And he does say motherfucker a lot, but his is more okay. So he has levels, and he and I both did this a lot when we worked together. If somebody's doing something stupid the first time, we're going to say they're stupid. If it continues the second time, they move up to a cocksucker. The third time, thank you for the soundtrack, Mama
I didn't mean to do that.
The third time, they're a motherfucker. If we ever get to, and we have to cock our head when we say it, but if we ever get to bitch, and it's the high pitched bit, and sometimes we don't even have to say it. We just kind of, now I wish the video was still going. We just kind of mouth just the B of it, and people know, time to go.
I'll have to look and be like, "We don't need to get there, man. I promise you we're going to be fine."
We used to, we would judge how good or bad our day was on the number of bitches that we said.
There was 2.
That's how we judged it. Well, how'd your day go? There were 5, bitch. 5, bitch was a bad day. And then every once in a while, we try to get through a day without saying it. It works sometimes.
Not all the time.
Not very often.
I believe one day I was the guy who was in charge of keeping track of how many time y'all said that. And then French comes, "So how many we got?" I lost count.
I do love getting back, because it was in my head, because I was thinking about when we talked about Hugh Jackman. In my head. See?
There he goes.
There he goes. Neil Patrick Harris, man. I grew up watching Neil Patrick Harris, NPH. NPH, if you're listening, come on down. I grew up watching him as Doogie Howser.
Oh, yeah.
Nerdy little kid on Doogie Howser. Great role. And then he kind of disappeared for a while.
Harold and Kumar.
He showed up in Harold and Kumar. And then,
to go find himself.
And then all of a sudden, he just... And I mean, he fucking found himself. And then he comes back out, and I was like, holy shit. And then he did Dr. What was the musical he did with the goggles and the something sing-along? Dr. Horrible String-Along or something?
Oh.
Can't remember what it's called. But then he did the one you made me watch where he chases the kids.
Oh, that's a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, Lemony
Love
Snicket.
that book.
I loved him.
Love that book.
He was absolutely amazing in that. And I think I've said before, any actor that I find out can sing or sing and dance or whatever, I mean,
they're his favorite fucking person.
The biggest surprise in anything I've ever seen was John C. Reilly.
He did Dr. Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser. No,
Doogie.
he didn't know. It was like
a musical.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
I keep wanting to say Dr. Bernarsis, but that's
John C. Reilly was the biggest surprise. Now, you watch him in Step Brothers and, Will Ferrell movies. He was in Gangs of New York, which I keep trying to get Mama Jean to watch. She can't get into it, which I thought was a great movie. Oh, Gangs of New York and the 5 Points. I love that movie. But John C. Reilly's this big, bad motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Well, then the movie Chicago comes out, which I saw Chicago on stage. It's an amazing fucking play. My absolute favorite actor in all Chicago runnings was Jerry Orbach, who actually was on the original Law and Order. Played an amazing Billy Flynn.
Or he was in
Chicago.
Dirty Dancing as the
Yes,
dad.
he was Baby's father in Dirty Dancing. Played an amazing Billy Flynn. The movie I loved. I wasn't a fan of Richard Gere in that role. I like Richard Gere in most roles. I didn't. His singing voice, it was there. He was on key, but it didn't have the right emotion. But
another actor you need to look at is Bradley Cooper. He plays in Broadway, and he does the Elephant Man. Now, I'm not the biggest fan. When I saw him on the Elephant Man, I'm like, God damn, this guy can act. He played the Elephant Man.
But see, John C. Reilly
because you think
in
of
Chicago
this
when he did Cellophane, which I tend to sing Cellophane at karaoke a lot, and you would be surprised in the biggest hole in the wall redneck fucking bar. When I pipe up and I start singing Cellophane, a Broadway show tune, you would be surprised the number of people that A, know what it's from, and B, stop and look like, oh shit.
That's because most of them are drunk.
Oh shit. Hell, I'm drunk. And that's usually when I do the Broadway show tunes, is when I get drunk.
All of us.
We are running close to the end of the second segment, and this motherfucker has